स्वामी को क्या वंदन। सभी गुरु भगवंतों को शत शत प्रणाम और यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी भव्यात्मा को मेरा जय जिनेन्द्र। टुडे in this talk I am presenting the results of my 10 years research on both Shwetambar and Digambar Agmas. You may find that my method of research as well as results differ in some cases from conventional philosophical understanding of Jainism. Conventionally, the agams are considered as religious texts, and they are studied and researched as religious texts of one religion, that also an ancient Indian religion, followed by only a few minuscule number of people today in this world. When you attach a philosophy to religion, then the philosophy loses global appeal. And this is one of the things which I find is definitely a shortcoming in case of our Jain philosophy. There are 3 or 4 main reasons why my results are different from the conventional or traditional understanding and writing about Jainism. The first, the most important is the method of research. Traditionally, Jainism is linked with Jain religion. And when you link it with religion and study, then we lose the broader sense and a desire to know more. Whatever is written there or whatever is being told for centuries, we'll try to follow only that thing. In our case, I followed the agamic statement, Padmam Nanam Tavodaya, and I delinked Jainism from philosophy. I consider Jainism as Jnana, Vijnana, Keval Jnana that empowers and prepares an individual to face issues of existence, life, and spirituality. In fact, in our view, Agmas provide the written proof that Jain shamans invented and used science for spiritual evolution when science was not in existence. From my own research as a physicist, I can say that Samyak Jnana of Dravyas and Tattvas explain the material and biological evolution. Traditionally, the Western people and their Indian counterparts connect spiritualism with God and interpret Jain religion as atheistic religion, Jainism as atheistic religion, Jain Dharma as atheistic religion, and Jainism or Jain philosophy as pseudoscience or metaphysics. It is ridiculous to assume that Arihants preach the path of half-truth or metaphysics as a path of enlightenment and moksha. Therefore, with this new, we use the word, We find Jainism is very simple but highly effective quantum science and a key for understanding God, consciousness, life before birth and after death, incarnation, and moksha. We do not find any conflict between science and Jainism, and
Please go to slide number 3, last para.
no, there's some problem in its adjustment. That's why it's happening. Yes, I'm.
No, it is okay. You just go to, yes, slide number 3, last para.
Okay, we do not find any conflict between Jainism and science. We developed, no. Now, the Western scholars and their Indian counterparts, oh, this is, I don't know what is happening. The second reason for our difference with the traditional philosophical understanding is the epistemology. We developed our own our own glossary of 300 words, which scientific words which are equivalent to agamic words. And when we use these words for interpretation of gathas or sutras, we find that Jainism gets transferred into Jain science, and the science of six dravyas and no tattvas become a quantum science. Traditionally, dravyas are interpreted as matter or interpreted as matter or substance or real. Matter cannot be the matter cannot be the basic constituent, and therefore we use the word energy for dravya, quantum field for astikayas, wave function for pradesh, and vibration for parinaman. With this new terminology, we find with this new term, we find that the five dravyas, they get into 5 types of energy fields, and we find and we equate akash dravya with force of gravity, dharmastikaya and dharmastikaya as the potential accelerating potential, and dharma dravya as kinetic energy, dharma dravya as potential energy, and Jeev Dravya as electromagnetic energy. I will explain later how this is equal to electromagnetic energy. And we treat Pudgal as plasma. Now, our terminology extracts right information because it is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing to see that Jain Shamans declared centuries ago that space, time, motion, life all exist as astika dravyas. As the present day quantum scientists, they say that they all exist as quantum fields. So this is the great news thing that we find, that actually our ancestors they knew that the real form of space, time, motion, life, all matter, they are all energy forms, are quantum fields. Astikaya dravyas. Jain Shraman said that so-called cosmic space is not space, but Akash Dravya having Avgahan Guna. Einstein called it infinite gravitation field. However, Jain philosophers still preach Akash Dravya as infinite empty space. It is wonderful. It is wondering how can open space support massive loka without any external support, unless the Dravya has a capability to hold it. And this holding capability, Jain Agamas described as Afghan Guna, and Einstein described this holding capacity as gravitation force. Another interesting feature of Akash Dravya is the Akash Dravya is continuous, yet it functions as if it is made of a large number of field elements which are called as Pradesh. This, the discrete nature of the Akash Dravya is called space quantization, and this is a new idea. And the space element is called gravity wave. It Akash Pradesh is its the Akash Pradesh is the average amplitude of this gravity wave, which mathematically represents a wave function. I don't know what happened to me, why I'm not able to. Pudgal is traditionally defined as matter. We find that Pudgal is not matter, it is the fourth state of matter, what is known as plasma. Varna, Ras, Gandha, Sparsh, they are traditionally described as the properties of matter, but in fact they are not, but they are not the properties of matter. The Pudgal Dravya, the essential properties of matter are its mass and it occupies space. Pudgal neither has mass nor does it occupy any space. And therefore we treat Varn, Ras, Gandha, and Sparsh as indicator that Pudgal is observable. Pudgal and its paras are observable, or what we call as Indragrahya. We interpret Pudgal as plasma, the fourth state of matter, and accordingly we define Varn as color spectrum, Sparsh Varn as Ras as amplitude, Gand as olfactory, and Sparsh as chemical affinity. Sparsh is, according to us, Sparsh does not represent charge because a Parmanu or atom is neutral. So it doesn't represent charge. As Dalton defined, it represents chemical affinity. Of course, the reason of the chemical ratios are electrons or charges. But as far as when we talk of Sparsh or when we talk of combination, then we only talk of chemical affinity, and Sparsh represents only chemical affinity. When we characterize Pudgal by these four factors, then we find that matter Pudgal not only matches plasma, but it matches the Atmic statement. Matter exists in four states: liquid, solid, gases, and the fourth state energy is the energy state called plasma. And Pudgal also has four states of existence: Desh, Pradesh, Parmanu, which are energy form, and the fourth state is material form, that is called Skanda. So the Skanda is only matter according to us, The first three are only energy forms of Pudgal. Vibrations, motions, thoughts, emotions, and all type of karmas, bhav karmas, are waves. But the waves emerge, the wave energy, and all these karmas, they are waves, and the wave energy represents Pudgal. And therefore, Agmas described that the Pudgal waves represent Pudgal Dravya, and therefore Agmas described that the energy that karmas consists, karma is a flow of Karman Parmanu. Or Pudgal, which is also called as Dravya Karma. So Bhav Karmas are waves, Dravya Karmas are Pudgal or Pudgal. And since Karmanu have and Pudgal of 40, having four spurs are 40. Why this is Pudgal is classified in 530 Varganas based on Rasvan, Gandha, and Spurs. And this is given, these 530 Varganas are given in Uttara and Sutra Gatha 28 to 44. This shows that Vargana is not any particular class, but actually we can divide, we can classify Pudgal in several ways, and one of these ways is to classify according to their one ras gandha sparsh. Another interesting dravya is dharma and adharma dravya. Now, the concept of dharma and adharma dravya exists only in Jainism and in science. And in Jainism, these two dravyas have been used to describe the motion of Parmanu and Atma or Jiva, the Arupi and Amurti Jiva, and traditionally Dharma and Dharma Dharmayas are interpreted respectively as medium of motion and rest. But the fact is, motion does not require any medium. The only requirement is of force. So we interpret that dharma and adharma dravyas should act as forces, not as medium, and therefore we define dharmastikaya and dharma dravya as kinetic energy, adharma dravya as potential energy, dharmastikaya as potential, as accelerating potential, and adharmastikaya as retarding potentials. Traditionally, it is also said dharma and adharma dravyas determine boundaries of loka and aloka. In fact, the dimensions of loka are determined by the quantity of dravyas present. Since the quantity of dravyas is limited, the expansion of dravyas is limited, and this expansion we call loka. This is what even Sthanang Sutra also says, that जहां तक धर्म अधर्म, जहां तक द्रव्यों का विस्तार है वहां तक लोक है, उसके पश्चात अलोक है. So we don't believe that loka and aloka are determined by dharma and adharma dravya. The universe consists of Jeev and Ajeev dravyas. Scientists say it consists of electromagnetic energy and gravitation. According to Jainism, Jeev and Ajeev Dravyas are the two constants of the universe, whereas scientists say electromagnetic energy and gravitation are the two constituents of the universe. All fundamental particles are, except electron, proton, they are paryayas are waves of gravitation, and radiations are waves of electromagnetic field. So when we see this, when we compare this with Jiva and Ajiv Dravyas, then we conclude that Jiv Dravya is equivalent to electromagnetic energy, and Ajiv Dravyas are equivalent to gravitation field. The gravitation gives rise to all the gravitation gives rise to motion, potential, and everything. So all your about 140 fundamental particles are existing today, or rather discovered today, except electron and proton. No particle carry any charge. All particles are neutral. So neutral particles are all have origin in gravitation. And radiations, all the radiations, they have electromagnetic nature. So they are all particles are waves of electromagnetic field. So we compare this with Jeev and Ajeev Dravya, and we suggest that Jeev Dravya is electromagnetic energy and Ajeev Dravyas are integrated in gravitation field, though we perceive them separately as motion, etc. Jivastikaya is nature's cyberspace and brain of the universe. Chetnopyog is quantum energy. Chetnopyog is the quantum energy state of Jiv Dravya that transfers into Chetanopyog is quantum state of Jeev Dravya that transfers into life and consciousness in a Pudgal body or in a material body. So likewise, electromagnetic energy. So here I would like to clarify once again that Jeev Dravya has Upyog Guna. It does not have Chetana or anything else. So the Chetanopyog of Jeev Dravya is a quantum state. This state converts into consciousness and life in a Pudgal body, in life energy in a Pudgal body. And scientists also say that heat energy is life energy. If the body loses heat, the death is inevitable. So the heat energy is electromagnetic field. So there is some relationship, we can just see some correlation between Jeev Dravya and one form of the electromagnetic radiation, that the heat energy. Consciousness is another form of Jeev Dravya. So we can, so there, or rather we can say they are paryayas of Jeev Dravya. So you have got several paryayas of Jeev Dravya, and one of these paryaya is consciousness and life energy. So and scientists define heat as life energy. So we equate Jeev Dravya to electromagnetic energy. Pre-existence of life as Jivastikaya before body and brain evolution is unique feature of Jainism. Scientists believe that life occurred only after the after material evolution. That is, after Big Bang, the fundamental particles were released. They formed the matter. Then matter that formed into structures and systems, and then life arose in that system. Whereas Jainism believes that life is already inbuilt in the inbuilt component of the universe in the form of a quantum field. Scientists have not yet found any convincing evidence for existence of the life though they say life is not created but carried forward through biological processes. So scientists also say life is not created, but they do not know what is the source, how this life came into existence. Though it is believed that, though the biologists say that life appeared once through abiological processes in which they say that the environmental conditions were such that ammonia and other gases in water, they combined and formed DNA. They created amino acids and then life appeared in the amino acids. It was only once in the whole history of the universe, and afterwards the life only was carried through from one jiva to another through the through mutation of cells and other life and birth and rebirth. Jeev Dravya and Jeev Tattva. Light symbolizes jnana or knowledge. Light means, and light also means lesha, radiance and atma. Generally, Chinese philosophers say light is Pudgal because it is emitted by atoms. Emission does not mean origin or original or creation. Emission. So the so well, light symbolizes jnana or knowledge, and light means lesha or radiance of atoms. If light is Pudgal, then knowledge and lesha would also will become Pudgal, which is ridiculous. It is not possible that light can be called as a Pudgal or because it has got entirely different type of nature. According to Uttarajan Sutra 28/12, light, electricity, magnetism, etc., they have lakshan of Pudgal. They are not Pudgal, but they have lakshan of Pudgal, Dravya, which means they have characteristics of Pudgal energy, characteristics of Pudgal energy. Scientifically speaking, electromagnetic energy is neither created nor converted into matter and Pudgal, and therefore electromagnetic energy can be equated with the Jeev Dravya. Jeev Tattva is a quantum structure and a two-component system consisting of Tejas Sharira and Karman Sharira. The structure enables it to store information and remember past births. So, I am not feeling well. Kal is another topic which has some, or rather Kal time or Kal is little controversial in Jainism and also in other philosophies. Kal is not a constituent of Panchastikai Loka. It is not an Astikai Dravya, which means it doesn't have Astitva. Because only Astikai Dravyas have eternal existence. Since Kal is not Astikaya, it does not have eternal existence. Kal also is not Sat. The properties of Sat is Utpadvaya Dravya. Therefore, Kal is not a Dravya because it is neither Sat, nor it is a constituent of the Loka, nor it is Astikaya. Scientists also say time is neither energy nor matter, and therefore time does not exist. Kal is human perception of present, past, and future. Therefore, it is limited to human habitats only. It is a parameter, that is, it is a measure of present, past, and future, and therefore it has existence only in human habitat. Outside human habitat, Kal makes no sense. Time is used in Vyavharana to measure for measurement of changes and motion. Dravyas are same everywhere in loka, whereas time varies according to the location of an object. So the time is depends on location, whereas whereas dravyas remain the same everywhere. This also shows that since time is variable, this time is not a dravya. Every planet has its own time, which depends on its own orbital motion. Einstein said time is not separate from space, and it forms the fourth dimension of space, which means everything is in motion. With these definitions or with this understanding of the basic concepts of the universe and life, we I discuss now what are the basic concepts, Jain concepts, and how they are the same as those of scientists. The first and the foremost comes to our mind is what is truth. Jainism defines satta is sat. That means existence is truth. Even scientists also define, Einstein also first time defined that, so that existence is truth. The existence can be eternal or existence can be temporary. The eternal existence is called Sat and the temporary existence is called Asat. Saint Einstein called the eternal existence as absolute truth and the temporary existence as relative truth related to space and time. And Jainism says that this asat is related to Dravya Kshetra Kal and Bhav, the same as what Einstein says. One gets freedom from fear of death. Oh, this I think I will, before I discuss the basic concepts, I will just talk what are the basic
पापा तुमने कभी तालाब देखा है? तालाब में एक लेयर के नीचे एक दूसरे लेयर पे मछली है, वो नहीं दिखाई देती.
Okay, what are the basic of the Jain spiritual? Let us first see it, and then they will correlate with the science. All human beings are divine souls. They are not sinners. They commit mistakes and suffer because of ignorance. This is the first principle of spiritualism. Every human death is a spiritual event. Death of a caterpillar is birth of a butterfly. That means that death is not permanent, but recycling of life. One gets freedom from fear of death and sufferings by acquiring samyak jnana or right knowledge of God, self, death, and the universe. Moksha is not entry to heaven or proximity to God, but it is a state of super consciousness, enlightenment, or keval jnana, omniscience. So these are some of the basic features of spiritualism, and they are related with scientific quantum physics. That is what now I am going to tell. Describe how it is, how. Now, let us see first of all what are the basic assumptions and basic concepts which Jainism and science follow. These concepts are called axioms because they are self-evident. They don't require any proof, anything for their proof. That is, they have to be accepted as such. They are the basic facts, and they don't require any proof. So they are called axioms. So one of the first concept or the first axiom of Jainism is Satta is Sat, which means existence is truth. Even eternal Satta is Sat, is called Sat, and temporary existence is called Asat. that varies with Dravya, Kshetra, Kala and Bhav. Einstein named Sat as absolute truth and Asat as relative truth. The Jain axiom of Satya, this Jain axiom, this principle of Satya is Jain axiom is called Satya Sat, and this Satya Sat principle of Satya Sat is today known as Einstein's theory of special relativity. Like Jainism, Einstein also said that absolute truth Sat is only known to Sarvagya or universal observer. Human beings observe relative truth only, which varies, which human, which is human perception in space-time, and therefore illusion or maya. Yes. अच्छा, third axiom is Loka, Aloka, and five Astikaya Dravyas are eternal and Sat. This implies God, space, and time are not real. According to Jainism, Loka, Aloka, and five Astikaya Dravyas are eternal and Sat. This implies God, space, and time are not real. They are human perceptions and they exist in human mind only. So space, this is a very important thing. The science also tells the same thing, that space, time, and God do not exist. And this is and the same thing has been said in Jainism centuries ago. The fifth axiom is nothing can enter or leave the universe, leave loka. It simply means the cosmologists call this as nothing can enter or leave loka. Cosmologists call this as total energy and material uh, uh, nothing can leave or enter loka. It simply means the total content of the universe is constant, and the total contents include energy and matter, and therefore the total energy and the total of energy and matter in the universe remains constant. This is called energetically closed. This principle in science is called as closed universe. Closed universe does not mean having a fixed boundaries. Closed universe means energetically its contents are constant, they are not variable. And this is also called as the principle of conservation of mass and energy. Dravyas are continuous and form paryayas which remain in equilibrium with parents. This is another axiom. Paryayas means, since paryayas and dravyas are in equilibrium, that means the ratio of dravya and their paryayas is a fixed quantity or it is a constant. That simply means the number of paryayas, jiva and ajiva paryayas, are constant. That means neither the number of jiva and ajiva are constant, and they are only recycled. Nothing is created, nothing is destroyed. So this principle, this fact is denoted in Agmas as Utpadvaya Dravya. Not even a single Parmanu is destroyed or created, not even a single Jiva is destroyed or created. They, they continue to be the same. Dravyas can be partitioned, Dravyas can be partitioned into Pradesh and Desh. Parmanu is a Pradesh and Atma is a Desh. That is, Dravya is continuous, so you cannot separate Pradesh of Dravyas, but Pradesh can form a system, but you can select any quantity of Dravya. So that quantity, the smallest quantity that you can take is a Pradesh, and the largest quantity that you can take is a Desh. For example, the smallest quantity of a Dravya is called Pradesh, and similarly, the smallest quantity, the smallest the Desh of Jeev Dravya is Atma. Parinaman are random fluctuations of astika. Parinaman are random vibrations of astika dryas create waves, and these waves are called Shuddha Paryayas. These Shuddha Paryayas, because they have now got now a form, they can interact with each other, or they can combine with each other and create new waves or new Paryayas. This is in science, this is called the principle of beating of frequencies, in which waves can be added or subtracted, and accordingly new frequencies can be created. The ninth axiom is Dravyas superimpose. Dravyas superimpose each other and they occupy the same space. They neither interact nor transform into one another. Panchastika Gata 6 and 7 mentions these characteristics, especially these two characteristics, that is superimposition and non-interaction. So superimposition creates beat frequencies or new waves, which then just I discussed, Jainism call it paryayas. Panchastika Loka, a body of kaya, 5 dravyas, is the ultimate form of the universe. Achar Panchastikaya, which is a body of 5 astikaya dravyas, is the ultimate form of the universe. Acharya Kundakun in Panchastikaya Gatha 3 says, Loka is samvaya, that means group of 5 dravyas and of 5 astikaya dravyas, and Loka itself is samay, means time. So this shows that Loka is space-time. Like Jainism, Einstein also said in 1905, the universe in reality is space-time. He said time is not separated from space, time is space and space is time. Every space element, Akash Pradesh, is time element. And Digambar Jains say that every Pradesh is a Kalanu. So this shows that Jainism and Einstein, they are on the same line. But the thing is, this Kalanu cannot be separated from space. So the Panchastika Loka is timeless regime when all objects exist in a state of entanglement. Panchastika is timeless since time does not exist in Panchastika. So everything is it is a state of entanglement or of the same phase, because phase is the function of time. And since there is no time, so everything is in entangled state. And the Siddhashila is at the top of this one, which is also an entangled state. That is why all the Siddhas, they have all the same type of characteristics, the same type of knowledge, even though they have different avgahan. It is mainly because of entanglement or timeless regime that they have the same characteristics. The most unique feature of Panchastikaya Loka is its inherent quantum consciousness, Jivastikaya, and quantum memory as Jiv Tattva. Quantum energy fields are fundamental. I think I have to discuss, remove this thing. Panchastikaya Loka is an excellent, the most unique feature of Panchastikaya Loka is its inbuilt quantity, quantum consciousness, Jivastikaya, and quantum memory as Jiv Tattva, quantum energy fields, and fundamental particles. Also,